Yo, what's up, everybody? This is WarBird, and I'm coming to you live with Apache Underground Radio. This is me, Chief WarBird, and I'm here with Fonz. Say what's up to him, Fonz.
What's cracking, peoples? How's everything going?
All right, cool. All right, so we're just going to get right into it because we've already been having a little bit of a conversation. And we thought that it might be good for us to share this stuff because it's real life problems, real life situations and things are going on in the world right now. So without any further ado, Fonz, what have we been talking about here?
Well, right now we were just talking about what the media is doing to minds, to American minds right now, and the popular word right now is narrative. We never really heard narrative until politicians and the media started listening to it. So now you can relate to the word narrative because everybody's saying it. And the reason that people are saying it is because it's being sold to you as a narrative. But everybody has one, don't they?
I completely understand what you're saying, and there's been a lot of people in history that talk about, how to change things and how to go about doing things and making a difference in the right, productive way. So what I propose and is to, since they're giving us a word vomit and stuff like that about what and how we should be thinking, I want to regurgitate, the opposite end of the spectrum. What do we really think? I know what you're telling me I should think, but what do I really think? I know you're telling me that I'm wrong, but am I really? You know what I mean? I know that you say that you're telling me the truth, but are you really telling me the truth? And I think most Americans that if they've been listening to the stuff that I've been listening to, or seen the actual changes that I've seen been going on, i.e. gas prices, i.e. food prices, i.e. crime rates, okay? These are the type of things that I'm talking about. So where's the disconnect? Why don't we hear more people advocating for masculinity, for femininity, and women's rights and stuff like that? I get that everybody should have their rights, and I'm not, I love everybody, that's not the thing. But, you guys have your way of thinking, but don't try to put it on me and my family and my children. You know what I mean? You can't have children. That's your fault. You don't need to have, you don't need a misery loves company. You don't need to bring my children and your thoughts into their unpoisoned minds. And once you start poisoning their minds and giving these kids something to listen to, that's where we're going wrong. You know what I mean? And like I said, I ain't throwing nothing but love towards anybody, and everybody's entitled to each their own. You know what I mean? But I'm entitled to have, peace without, having to listen to your nonsense. To me, it's nonsense.
Right. And I'd love to. There's a lot of deep things there. That's deep, what you're talking about, and it requires time. And the thing is that because we're in this conditioned fast food nation, everything now we want it now. We want fast everything. We want fast information. We want fast everything. We've been conditioned to go fast. But we're going fast where? Nowhere, right? And so, we see all these things that are happening around us, and we use words like poisoning our minds, And that has gotten into a situation where people feel offended because you're telling them the truth, and so there's a deep rooted.
Why aren't people more? Why aren't more people offended by being told a lie?
That's our nature. Now we have so our nature's tendency, and this is something that's been studied. Okay, this is not my study, but this is something that's been studied by the so-called experts out there that have studied the what human nature does. And so we'll use the news as an example. The news wasn't always bad news. I mean, as far as the end of the world type of news, they used to. And I don't know, if I don't watch TV. I haven't watched the news in over 20 years. But I remember when we were going through Operation Iraqi Freedom and all of those wars that we were going through in Iraq. And my TV was on. My TV was on. I would leave, I'd come back, and I was on the news. I wanted to know what was happening in Iraq. I wanted to know what was happening, and it's like, but why? And what these professionals that study us figured out is that the ratings would go up in the news every time that there was negative content on their channels. So then they said, well, they're in their business is ratings.
Ratings.
They're in the business. They're in the business of ratings. And so then they said, okay, well, then let's start providing this information so people can come to our channel, because that's their only goal. Their only goal is ratings, to stay alive, to stay relevant in their business, because all it is business. Your business. You're their business. We are their business. But see, this is people we're talking about. So it isn't the news really at fault. We say fake news. We say all this stuff, right? And Trump coined that phrase, but the thing is that it's been fake news all along. It's not that it's not real. It's not that it's not real. The negative things that are happening around the world are real.
And that's as an organization, as the thought and idea, Apache Underground. That's what we want to combat. You know what I mean? We recognize a problem. Okay, we want to combat that problem. We want to be a solution, and what we want to do is we want to put out good content. Positive content, content that's going to make a difference. Shareable content. And what I mean by all that stuff, it's just the quality. We're gonna try our best not to cuss. Why? So everybody can listen to it. And that's just one of the things that we're gonna try to do. And we all get fired up. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's Apache Underground Radio. That's something that we're doing now. So it's ours. So it's cool.
Well, and that's the thing. And so, getting into, like I said, this is not something that we're going to cover all in one day. Because this is ongoing. It's ongoing, and it needs attention. And one of the reasons that I created my ministry was because I realized that, even the word ministry or Christianity is a negative now. And it's like, how did something that was meant for good become a negative?
It's because the silent majority is staying silent. Nobody's speaking up. We're letting all these loudmouths speak for everybody, when their loudmouths don't directly affect people on a day-to-day basis, you know, it's like, oh, yeah, they're just spouting off of the mouth. They might be spouting off of the mouth, but if they continue to do it, it's going to take an effect over time. You know what I mean? So
we're living history right now. We're living history. That's what most people don't realize. We are living history. What just happened in the pandemic is going to be somebody's history 20 or 30 years. It's going to be history 20 or 30 years down the road. It's not that they're going to, whoever reads that, whatever happened and they saw, and they're going to look at what we did. They're going to be like, wow, we were really on something, on some dumb shit. That's, you know, there's no other way of putting it, right?
Yeah. They're going to come. You know how they used to you know, carry. They used to think warts came from frogs and shit like that. You know, it's going to be the same thing. You know, they're gonna, how dumb that thought was. They're going to say the same thing about how dumb the masks were. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, yes, and that's okay. We were just talking about this a few minutes ago before we went live. The milk does the body good. You know, we didn't know, and we had people out there that were seeking the truth, that found the truth, and they realized that it's not true.
They're trying.
And the same thing with the other part that I was telling you about, as far as drinking beer makes you smarter.
Yeah. And the thing is, is all they're trying to do is just push more and more sugar into people. And, you know, like if you look at the label on a glass of milk, there's a lot of sugar in a glass of milk.
Right. Now,
there's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of sugar in a glass of orange juice, apple juice. You know, all these juices that we think that are good for us. You know what I mean? There's a lot of sugar in those things.
People, the shelves were empty. So this was what's interesting that I saw during COVID. Those shelves were empty by people that thought that they were doing the right thing, drinking gallons of orange juice, vitamin C, they say. But they had no idea what they were doing. They had no idea what they were doing. What does sugar do?
The value of the vitamin C did not, or farly, was so outscaled by the negative effect of the sugar it had.
Right. And what does sugar do?
It wreaks havoc on the body. It makes you fat. You know, like it messes with your internal organs. It rots your teeth. You know, there's so many negative effects that the sugar has on the body. You know, it's unreal.
The number one thing what I was looking for is this: sugar is the most addictive drug on the planet.
Oh, how can I forget? 6 times more addictive. Sugar 6 times more addictive than cocaine.
Exactly. That's what I was looking for. And I know you know those things. And the thing is that, you know, most people don't realize that. And now you've created a whole new slew of people that, okay, well, we don't need orange juice no more because the news told you that you don't have to worry about wearing masks no more. This is the news telling you what you have to do or you don't have to do. Not you investigating for yourself, but you being told by something, being conditioned by others. And so the problem now is our body is like, well, what happened to the sugar? I need the sugar. And so now we have the cause of it being the sugar, and the effects of not being on the sugar is what you're seeing in America today. People are going crazy. And they don't know why. They don't know why because they have all of this, they got all of these addictions that they're fighting off, and they have no idea. They don't even have an idea. I mean, these things are still on the shelves. You can walk into a grocery store right now and go buy Honey Nut Cheerios and feed it to your child and not know that you're feeding your child poison.
Yo,
Because
that's the stuff that I ate when
honeybee that they put on the commercial.
That's the stuff that I ate when I was growing up. You know what I mean?
That's the stuff that I ate, right?
I had no idea. I remember I used to put scoops and scoops of sugar in my cereal just to make it, taste better and stuff like that.
Yes.
I remember doing stuff like that, but like, would I do that now? No. Would I let my children do that now? No. You know what I mean? Like but some people would. Like,
well, people just don't know. And see, that's why we're kind of in a stalemate in America right now, because people are fighting knowledge with ignorance. And you can't expect someone that is ignorant, not stupid. There's a difference between being stupid and being ignorant.
What's the difference, Fonz?
Well. See, let's get down. I mean, if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about content and we're gonna talk about information, we need to take the time to look up what these things are so people can understand. It's as simple as like when I tell my daughter. My daughter says, I'm reading a book, but there's some words that I don't understand. What did you and I used to have to do when we didn't understand a word?
Just have to look it up.
You had to look it up. And before, we used to have to go to a library and go get a dictionary or have a dictionary at home so we can look up what the word is. So ignorance, the noun, is lack of knowledge or information. Right?
Okay.
So that's ignorance. Now, stupidity...
having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. Like,
yes.
Like you have to go out of your way to not know something.
And the thing is that I don't believe that God's people lack intelligence. We don't lack intelligence. What we lack is knowledge. What we lack is... the reason that what we lack is knowledge, and the knowledge that we don't have makes us ignorant. I remember a wise man once said, I don't know what I don't know. And I was like, well, what do you mean? I don't know what I don't know. Well, obviously. And the thing is that, I was fortunate enough that my native blood is still surrounded all over this country, right? And we came back to our native lands, and I remember my dad and my mom. My dad is from the hills of Michoacan, right? Mm-hmm. That's where they had to congregate because we got pushed back that far, right?
Yep.
And so when he came out of those hills, he came out eating organic food. Right, it didn't cost them anything extra. It was clean because they grew it, and every now and then they had some meat products. Every now and then, because you just didn't go killing your cow because your cow produced milk, yeah. Or you didn't go killing your chickens because your chickens produced eggs.
Right.
So their style of eating was much better. This cereal thing is not something that was common in our native, as natives. It's not something that we ate.
No, like I got sick. I got sick. I got fat. I got weak. My joints started to hurt. All that stuff is real. I'm 34 years old. I'm 34 years old. My body should be a machine. You know what I mean? And well, it is right now. But back, when I was having issues, even younger than this, let's say 6 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, when I wasn't working out the way I have been. My body was like giving out, and it was because of all the food that I was eating. So because all the beers I was drinking, because all the contaminants and poisons I was putting in my body. You know what I mean? My body broke down, and once your body breaks down, you got to figure out real quick, how to build it back up or how to get to where you want to be. And I did research, and I spent money and time and effort and all kinds of like heartache on trying to figure out what was the deal, and really it was just my diet. I started putting more greens in my body. I cut out gluten and bread and shoot, I cut out potatoes. I cut out sugar. Shoot, now all I eat now is vegetables and chicken and fruit, and water. I don't drink any kind of soda. I don't drink any kind of alcohol or anything like that. Just water for me. Okay, excuse me. I take my almond milk with my protein shakes and stuff like that. So let's not
Right.
let me not
Right.
get
But
like
see,
totally.
you had to make an effort. There was something inside of your spirit that had you looking for that information. But the reality is, in my as far in my practice as a holistic health professional, I have learned that people just don't want to and have been conditioned to not want to take the time to really see what's happening to themselves. That's what it comes down to. It goes back to the root cause.
They'd rather put a Band-Aid over it.
Well, as a holistic health professional, we look for the root cause of why something is happening. In Western medicine, we practice disease. We practice giving the disease the countermeasure, but we don't focus on why the disease is there in the first place. Eastern medicine does that, but then Eastern medicine doesn't practice Western medicine, so it needs to come together. Eastern and Western medicine has come together now through holistic health, because when we say holistic, we mean the whole thing, which is the mind, the body, and the soul. Because we are all three of those. Regardless of whatever people want to believe or they don't want to believe, it's not about that. It's about, this is what we have discovered, and this is the truth. And so, in order for us to get to a point of healing, we need to allow ourselves, just like we allow Channel X News to do whatever. I don't care what news station you're watching. You can be a Fox News person or a CNN person. You're being brainwashed. That's the bottom line. You're being conditioned. I don't care what they say. They're conditioning you to watch their channel. And the thing is that it's not hypocrisy on our part. I want to condition people to watch us too. But the difference is that I don't sell out for money. I am not going to have Pepsi, as an example, or Coca-Cola products, or any of those products on my channels promoting those things that cause death. You're not going to see Miller Lite, Budweiser, or any of those things on my channels because I don't promote toxicity.
No.
Why do I don't want to kill my people. I don't want to kill my people. I want to enjoy life with the people that I'm around, and I don't want to see people suffering because I know what it's like to suffer, because I suffered through all of those things that you talked about too. Except I'm 43 years old now.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I survived it. I have family members that didn't. I have family members. That's why I'm starting my Diabetes Awareness Month this month. It's going to be April 20th, just like Earth Day. But it's going to be Diabetes Awareness Month. That's what I'm creating. You know, just like there's people that are out there creating all these other things that they want to create. They can create all those things for themselves. But for me, it's selfishness. I don't create selfishness. I don't promote selfishness. Now, there's nothing selfish about wanting to be healthy. There's nothing selfish about me wanting to earn the income that I need to provide for my family. There's nothing selfish with that. But the problem is that you have people out there that are greedy for income, and they don't mind putting content out that is damaging to Americans, because at the end of the day, this is America, and it's united we stand. It's the United States of America, not the red versus the blue. It's not left versus right. That's not what America was founded on. America was founded on liberty and justice for all. America was founded one nation under God, not under this group or that group or whatever you believe. It was founded under one nation under God. And so, being the greatest nation on the planet, why are we trying to change that? And the question I ask is, why are those people trying to change that? And the answer is obvious. They're trying to destroy America by creating weak men, by creating weak women, and by destroying us internally by the things that we eat. It's as simple as that.
And that's the truth right there. You know, couldn't have been said better. Couldn't have been said better.
I don't want you to suffer, Eric. I don't want your mom to suffer. I don't want my neighbor to suffer. I don't care if my neighbor likes me or not. My neighbor doesn't even have to say good morning to me, because we're free to do what we want. Yes. But isn't it so much nicer to be able to say good morning to my neighbor? To make sure that when I see somebody encroaching on my neighbor's property that I don't recognize, because, you know, we're neighbors, I'd be like, hey, look, what's going on over here? That's what America was founded on.
Yeah.
I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're from Afghanistan, from Iraq. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Buddhist. I don't care about any of those things. I don't care if you have issues with your gender. I don't care about any of those things.
But what I
do care about, huh?
Yeah, go ahead, say it.
I'm just saying, what I do care about is humanity. And the thing is that I do care, and I'm not going to go over to you and slap a cigarette out your mouth. That's your right.
You know what? What I do care about, man, I lost that thought. Go ahead.
And I'm sorry. What I'm saying is that it's not, when I use the words "I don't care," it's not saying that I don't care. It's what I'm saying is that those are things that are irrelevant. All of those things are irrelevant to what one nation under God stands for. It's irrelevant to America, because I'm not trying to fix Mexico. I'm not trying to fix Iraq. That's not my job as an American here on this country.
Okay, now check this out. I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
What I do care about is that, you know, if you are, you know, from a country that you didn't like being at, and so you want to come here to America, okay, because you want to come here because it's free, okay, what I mean is a free country, but you need to be on our team now. You know what I mean? We'll take you.
You need to assimilate.
We'll take you. You know, like, I don't mind, but you need to be on the team. You need to figure out what's going on. I mean, you need to get schooled up quick, fast, and in a hurry. You know, like, yeah, America, we could use some help.
Don't come from wherever you're coming from, like, and try to change America.
No. We're like, no. We're not. I don't want my freedoms to change to look like some other country where they're fleeing from to try to come over here.
They're fleeing from.
Learn our customs. Learn a new way of being. You know, like being American is pretty dope. You know what I mean? And a lot of people want to be American. And you know what? America, I could say we could use some more Americans. But you know what? Like, if you're an American, be on the American team. You know what I mean? Like, be one of us. You know, like let's contribute. Let's do some shit together. You know, like, let's build some shit together. Like, Like, let's support each other, and let's not go to war over dumb shit like the color of your skin or your nationality or your religion or what you think about your private parts or how you feel on the inside. Like let's build something dope. You know what I mean? Like put all the bickering and like human shit aside, and let's be an evolved people already. You know what I mean? Like it just takes, I say, leadership.
It takes leadership, and that's the problem that we're lacking. See, the thing is like this. I look at it, it's like parenting. Now that I'm a parent, my daughter, when I ask her to do something, she'll bitch and complain like a little 10-year-old does. It's up to me. It's up to me to make sure that I spend the time to educate her into the system that we are in, right?
I want to build a new system, a correct system, and you can a place where you could send your daughter. You know what I mean? Like where you wouldn't have to worry about that.
That's where it gets a little scary and a little rough for a lot of people. Because why would I want to change a system that has 329.5 million population, and the closest population to us is 144 million?
Same reason why anybody would want to open up a private school or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm saying is that our American system is legit.
It is.
What we need to do, well, I would say this. I say that we need to get back to our American ways, our American system, and our American process. That's what's lacking in this country right now. It's not, well, we're going to come in and we're going to change every policy because we don't like it. Well, this is America. And when you came into this policy, you came into this country, you came into it, whether you like it or not, because our ancestors didn't ask for this. But I'm not going to sit there and tell you that I want this to be Mexico, because look at the way Mexico was running itself. That's what I'm getting at. But at the end of the day, our processes are based on under God principles. Under God principles. I don't want to see an America that's not under God.
Amen.
Because being under God is what has brought 329.5 million people to this country. The closest to us is 144 million. That means we double every single population in the world. And they came here because God is here. And the moment we start taking God out, the moment we started taking God out of the equation, I'm talking about root problems. The moment we took God out of the equation.
All right, and that's all we got for you today. My phone died. Sorry, couldn't have done a better job. But we are going to have some more conversations like this. So check us out again. Don't forget to check out our website, www.apache-underground.com. I appreciate you. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and we are out.